Hello students, good morning. Welcome to S2S classes. आज हम जो है 10th क्लास का 5th लेक्चर दे रहे हैं। 4 लेक्चर हो चुके हैं। तो अब इसमें 5th लेक्चर में जो सेकंड चैप्टर पोलिनोमियल, इस 5th लेक्चर में वी आर गोइंग फॉरवर्ड zeros of a polynomial and graph of the polynomial, and after that how can solve the polynomial, these things. In 4th lecture, in the last video in 10th class, that in 4th lecture we have discussed the types of polynomial, definition of polynomials and examples of the every types of polynomials. Okay, now we are going to discuss forward now zeros of a polynomial. What is the zeros of a polynomial? Definition of zeros. Zeros are the any real number on which polynomial becomes the zero. Simple thing. Any real value of variable x on which polynomial becomes zero, that value of x are called the zeros of the polynomial. Okay, if linear polynomial, then that will be any one value of x on which it will be zero. If it will be quadratic polynomial, then two values will come, maybe both value, same value, or maybe different value. For the cubic, similarly, 3 values of x will be there on which polynomial becomes the zero. Okay, so now write down this definition. For any polynomial px, you know polynomial represented by px, gx, qx. Okay, for any polynomial px, comma alpha be any real number alpha be any real number such that, ऐसा है अल्फा, such that polynomial at x is equal to any alpha real number, यानी p alpha का मीनिंग polynomial at x is equal to alpha is any real number, जनरल, ये कोई भी रियल वैल्यू हो सकती है अल्फा, such that p alpha is equal to 0. Alpha be any real number such that p alpha equal to 0. Alpha is called the zeros. That alpha is called the that alpha is called the zeros zero of the polynomial. Zero of the polynomial px. Polynomial generally represented by px. Okay, let us suppose example, if px is equal to 3x minus 5. If this is linear polynomial, 3x minus 5. Now, we are saying such value of alpha on which polynomial becomes 0. So, means that this is 0, px is 0 for which value of x? 3x minus 5. That this polynomial is 3x minus 5. This put equal to 0 and find the x. So this implies equation this. Then minus 5 will come this side, 0 side, plus 5. Then x is equal to 5 upon 3. Clear it? So this is the zeros. So x is equal to 5 upon 3, x is equal to 5 upon 3 is 0, is 0 of px. What is px? Px 3x minus 5. So clear it now? Yes, okay. यानी सच ऐसी वैल्यू हमारे x वेरिएबल की जिसको हम पोलिनोमियल में पुट कर दें तो उसको सॉल्व करके वो 0 बन जाए. तो x की वैल्यू रिवर्स करके देखो, ये 5/3 इसमें पुट करो तो ये 0 बन जाएगा. 3 इंटू एक्स की वैल्यू 5/3, 3 कैंसिल, देन 5 minus 5 0. So on which value of x polynomial value becomes 0, that value is called the 0 of the polynomial. Simple definition. Okay. After that, 0 graph. If you want to draw the graph, of a polynomial. In 9th class also you have done coordinate system, rectangular system, x-axis, negative side x, y-axis, y and then negative of y. You know, upward y positive, downward negative, and right hand side positive, and this point where both line intersect is called the origin. O means 0. Then after that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. Like this we can mark on the line you have done in 9th class. This is rectangular system, number line, real number line, y-axis also, these are real number on that, but we are taking integer generally. Between two integer many real numbers are there, you know. Okay. Now if this we want, draw the graph of this only 3x minus 5. What will be the graph of this polynomial, graph of px. If px is this, so for this px, draw the graph. Now make the table for the value of x, and the polynomial value is called the y. What is the polynomial value? That is called y. So polynomial value on y-axis, and x is the variable independent quantity, x independent, that on x-axis. So always take x value here, any value x, and find the polynomial value. If x is here 1, so put here 1. So 3 into 1, 3 minus 5. 3 minus 5, minus 2. If put here x 0, if x is 0, so 3 into 0, 0 minus 5, then minus 5. If here minus, if here 2, 3 2 ja 6, x value 2. So 3 2 ja 6, 6 minus 5, 1. To make the table of the value of the x and y, putting here x value by your side and find the polynomial value, that is called the y. Y means p of x value. Px is equal to y. Put any value of x, but put such values of x on which y becomes any integer, because integer plotting on the number line easy, because between two integer many and infinite real numbers are there. So we have to put the point easily, convenient way, to take any value of x, such value of x as an integer, on which y becomes any integer. Okay, like this. So first point 1 comma minus 2, x coordinate 1, y coordinate minus 2. So drawing of the points on the graph. First point, let A coordinate 1 comma minus 2. Second point, let B coordinate x comma y 0 comma minus 5. Third point, say any point C, this coordinate 2 comma 1. So these points we have to plot in this rectangular system. In the 9th class also points you plotted. Now simply these points, find any minimum 2 points you can take, or maximum 3 points. Okay, now then here 1 comma minus 2, first x coordinate 1, where is 1? This 1. So then y coordinate minus 2, from 1 up go perpendicular, minus 2 downward, because y is minus 2. Minus 2 means downward, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So downward minus, up 1, 2, 3. Okay, then minus 2 means this. So this down here at minus 2. First go x coordinate 1, and from that point go to y coordinate. This is your final point A, 1 comma minus 2. After that, second point B, 0 comma minus 5. So x is 0 only here, 0 0. This is called origin. Where both axes are intersecting, that point is called the origin. Let it is O. So means here 0 and comma minus 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 5, this. So this point 0 comma minus 5 B, 0 comma minus 5. This. After that C point 2 comma 1. Then 2, x coordinate 2, this, and y 1. So from 2 upward 1. So 1 here, then here, this upward, then this point, vertically you go upward how many? One place, one step. So then this is your 2, 1. This is your point C. After that, you can join all these points which you mark A, B, C. So you will observe these all 3 points will be in a straight line. Okay? If you want to join all these 3 points, then these always will be a straight line. Then join these 3 points with the help of scale. And produce both sides. Straight line, it will be straight line always. Okay? You join all points always for the linear function. This will be the straight line. Okay? So these 3 points join. This is called the graph of the px. So this line L is called the graph of polynomial px. Okay? Clear graph, always linear function, ax plus b for, you know, in 4th lecture we have told you linear function, quadratic polynomial, these all you know. So graph of this, you understood, it is a straight line. Now, after this, how can make algebraic representation if any mathematical statement is given? Let us suppose one mathematical statement is 17 minutes. One mathematical statement is in a rectangle, if length is 1 centimeter more than the twice of its breadth. In a rectangle, if length is 1 centimeter more than its twice of breadth, then this is one mathematical statement. Here length is as polynomial. This is length, and length is equal to let breadth. First you let breadth be x. Independent quantity here, breadth. Depend, that is called y. And what is here, that? Length. Length will be y. This will be y. Length will be y. That will be px. And px, what will be? Length. Length will be 1 more than the twice of its breadth. So 2x plus 1 will be the length. So this is one polynomial in x variable, linear polynomial. So we can make the linear polynomial like this. Okay? And we can draw the graph. Clear? Okay? Now, if any relation in x and y mixed like that, this is mixed here, so y is equal to this. So here, if x putting, so y you can find. You can draw the graph also. Okay. So this is your linear polynomial. We can make like this. Now, after that, I want to tell you how can how can solve or solution of the polynomial, यानी जीरो, फाइंड द जीरो. If it is linear, I told you here, linear, simple, okay. If it is quadratic polynomial, if px is equal to quadratic polynomial, if px is equal to 2x square minus 3x minus 5. This is quadratic polynomial. Quadratic general form of quadratic, ax square plus bx plus c, general quadratic polynomial px. You know quadratic polynomial general form. This is general form of quadratic polynomial, solution of quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial. If px is this, how can solve? Splitting the middle term. In 9th class also done. Splitting the middle term and say this 0. Polynomial value say 0. Px put 0 and 2x square minus 3x minus 5. To solve the quadratic, split the middle term. 2 5 is 10 minus 10, 2 into minus 5, a into c, product of a and c, that is minus 10 split into two factors such that sum of both is equal to b is minus 3. So 2 and multiply by minus 5, then product is minus 10, but sum, you can check sum of 2 and minus 5 minus 3, so that is b. So two factors of this, 2x square, two factor of this minus 5x plus 2x minus 3x split into minus 5 and minus 2, minus 3, okay, minus 3, x and minus 5, split that is equal to 0. Then what is common in these both terms? X is highest common factor in first two terms, then here 2x, and then here x common, then 5. Here last two terms plus 2x minus 5. So what is common factor here? No common here. Then only plus 1 is the common factor. Here no other number is common. then only 1 is the highest common factor of all the numbers. So always take 1 common, then 2x. If no common factor, then 1 is common factor, is equal to 0. After that, these two factors, 2x minus 5, other factor x plus 1 is equal to 0. So here 2 factors is equal to 0. So each factor put 0. This may be 0 because product of two numbers equal to 0. Then maybe this 0, maybe that 0, maybe both 0. 0 into 0 also 0, or 0 into any other number maybe. So put 0 both. 2x minus 5 is equal to 0, and then x is equal to plus 5 that side and divide by 2. You know, simplify this. And then second factor, x plus 1, put equal to 0. Second factor, say 0 and then find x. Then x is equal to minus 1. So these are the two values of x. So these are the two zeros. So zeros, so solution means zeros. Zeros such that 5 upon 2 comma minus 1 answer. So this type solution you can find. This is the factorization method. Which method? This one, splitting middle term, factorization method. Other method, one more. The same example I want to tell by the other method. 2x square minus this. Now other method is where splitting not possible, apply that is called quadratic formula. Quadratic, it is quadratic polynomial. But if put here 0, say 0, then it is quadratic equation. Now if put 0, because 0 why putting? Because we have to find the zeros. This is the method to find the zeros. Polynomial put 0, because polynomial 0 on which value of x, that value we have to find, and that values are called the zeros of that polynomial. So we are putting 0. Now what is the rule to solve this? Quadratic formula. Take the values of, compare with ax square plus bx plus c. Take a value. A is equal to coefficient of x square, here 2. Take b value. B is here x, coefficient of x, that minus 3. And take value of c. C is here constant term, minus 5. So these values of a, b, c you have to take with comparing the question with standard form ax square plus bx plus c. Now after that, one formula is there to solve it. X is equal to minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac b square minus 4ac whole divided by 2a. This is called quadratic formula to find the value of x in the quadratic equation, because it is now equation after putting 0. Okay, now put the values direct. Minus b, what is b value? B is minus 3 or minus here, so minus b, minus into minus plus 3 plus minus square root b square माइनस 3 होल स्क्वायर 9 p स्क्वायर माइनस 4 इंटू a is 2 into c is minus 5 whole divided by 2 into a is 2. Now simplify, so x is equal to 3 plus minus square root, simplify 4 2 ja 8, 8 5 ja 40, minus minus multiply plus 40, okay, 9 plus 40 49 upon 2 2 ja 4. Then these are two values, one is at plus, other is at minus. So one is 3 plus root 49 7 7 7 ja 49 upon 4 comma at minus sign 3 minus 7 divided by 4. Then x is equal to 3 plus 7 10 upon 4 comma 3 minus 7 minus 4 upon 4. Then simplify this, 2 2 ja 4, 2 5 ja 10, 4 4 cancel. Then this is 5 upon 2 comma this is minus 1. So these are the zeros. So zeros such that 5 upon 2 comma minus 1 answer. So zeros of a quadratic polynomial. Okay, now I want to tell you one point in the end formula, sum of the zeros and product of the zeros. These we should write, because zeros in the quadratic, where two zeros are there in the quadratic, two zeros alpha and beta, let two zeros, that sum of the zeros minus b upon a and product of the zeros alpha into beta, product of zeros c upon a. Okay, ये sum of the zeros, write the formula sum of zeros. Product of zeros. Okay, so remember these a, b, c, you know, coefficient of x square a, coefficient of x is b, and c is the constant term. Okay, now आप लोगों का एक रेस्पॉन्स अच्छा मिल रहा है, आप जो शेयर करें, वीडियो को लाइक करें, शेयर करें एंड सब्सक्राइब करें और शेयर ज़रूर करें, और जो कमेंट बॉक्स में जो भी कमेंट आप उसको ज़रूर लिखें, लाइक करें, जैसा भी लगता है आपको कमेंट लिखें, कोई प्रॉब्लम है उसको आप मेरे शेयर करें, मैं उसको रिमूव करने की कोशिश करूँगा. ओके, सब्सक्राइब द चैनल एंड शेयर, and thank you for watching.